Hurricane versus Cure.
Hurricane versus Cure, game number 2. Hurricane starts to the top of the map. It's his choice since he lost map number 1. On heavy rain now. And let's see what he can do against his Terran opponent, who was meching in game number 1. Very successful at that. We have Cure starting to the bottom of the map. Sorry for Jinek Green Wings.
The way he went into the mech in the first place was by starting things off with drops, using his Widow Mines defensively. After realizing he was up against Stargate, he was like, okay, I'll keep one at home, go out with one and then drop, and then showed a lot of Marines repeatedly, and that threw Hurricane off. You know, if you see a bunch of Marines like that, then you see a Siege Tanker too, you're like, alright, this is going to be a Marine tank push probably. I mean, if you have, you know, 5 to 8 Marines, that's one thing, but if you have 16 Marines, that's starting to look like something completely different. Barracks into gas here. We're going to see a Reactor Reaper expand coming out from Cure. Reaper into Reactor, I should say, to be more specific. Not the Reactor Reaper that Flash does with Double Reaper. Don't think we're going to see that. Definitely not lining up for that timing.
Do you think he does it again?
I don't think so. Because this is not his map pick. And it's such a hard build to execute. Unless he is actually the secret, like, master of this composition that nobody has ever found yet. Like, he's like figured it out in the darkness, and now he's coming out to show it to the world, and he's like actually the best mech player against TVP, and he can play a normal game where his opponent doesn't get behind. I don't think we're going to see it again. I think he's just doing it for that one map, throws Hurricane off, and now he's just going to transition back into normal play. That's my feel. What do you think?
I don't think that he's going to go for it again either. I think that right now we have Hurricane more with the timing. We could have, for example, also seen him with the Blinkstalker build on this map.
That's true. This is a good map for it because the map is so wide open in the main.
It's an amazing map for Blinkstalkers, and it's really difficult to defend. And first of all, we have to really scout what's going on. So we've seen a lot of Protoss players actually playing Blinkstalkers against Terran on the map here. But we have Hurricane once again out on the map with a probe, and in the last game he wanted to go for a proxy Stargate and it didn't really work for him because it was scouted by the Reaper. Don't really think he's going to do it here. It would be a bit of a waste, but there's always a possibility of him trying something sneaky.
Just doing that classic probe scout. We saw Classic do this where he goes around, comes over here and harasses the SCV because he knows that the reactor is building in the main base, which means that it's not going to be any units out, and the Reaper's going across the map. And if you can force the Reaper to go back, that's awesome for him. At the very worst case, he brings more SCVs down, and that's like pretty good for him too. So Reaper over here going to maybe get some kills, depends on the micro of Hurricane, and so far so good.
Yeah, Mothership Core is out in time. Oh, he doesn't pull the probe back, and that gives the Reaper at least 1 kill. Is able to escape here with 12 hit points, and of course the combat drugs are going to heal it up to full HP in just a few.
Second barracks here already pretty telling that we're not going to be seeing mech. We saw the factory last time, and they transitioned that way. So many SCVs losing their mining time in this game. About 4 in total losing mining time here and there, but this probe will go down.
Getting a second one, 2 kills on the Reaper.
I love that animation on the probe, by the way.
Getting his double kill here. And there we go.
Highlight Council, just as you predicted. This is a great map for Blink. A lot of Terrans complaining about it. And not to say their complaints are fully warranted, but it's just a very difficult map for Terran players to defend Blink Stalkers. The first step of the battle, though, is knowing. And the Reaper does not go in the right direction. And will maybe get picked off. No, not for now.
That Reaper is a survivor.
Indeed. He actually just waits next to this rock tower there, saying, "You're also a survivor, rock tower. You and I are alive together."
If you put that Reaper on the Lonely Island, he's going to start a new civilization. He's not going to go down. He's going to live long and prosper.
Yeah, that's the Tom Hanks Reaper right there.
I don't know. Tom Hanks struggled really hard on that island.
He did.
That Reaper is going to be the king of the island. I can tell you that much.
Reaper's got like his volleyball with him.
Yeah.
He calls his volleyball Cure instead of Wilson, though.
Alright, real quick, 3 things to take to a Lonely Island. Go.
Me?
No, the guy sitting next to you.
Okay, I was just... Alright, you caught me off guard with this one, but I would just say...
That was the idea.
A boat to get off of the island, a cell phone that has service, and $1 million, because then I have $1 million. And then when I get back, I have $1 million.
You really want to get off that island.
I'm not really down on the island, man. I'm ready to get out.
I think you hate islands, dude. You're not the beach type, are you?
No, I'm definitely not.
Okay.
Like, one of my least favorite things in the world is actually sand. I hate sand. I mean, I'll go to the beach and I'll enjoy it, but like,
well, I don't want to
stay there.
Never go to Fraser Island.
Okay. I'll trust you on that.
Sand goes in everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Well, 3 additional bunkers are being built here, and this is now a scenario where Cure knows exactly what he's up against.
Yeah,
this is one of the map picks that Protoss do because they want to play Blink Stalkers. It's great strategy on this map. He's bunkering up everywhere. He could also, with a factory, go into a siege tank. Is one thing that we see sometimes. Not really an option for the Terran player just right now. He's building his factory as we speak, so it's a little bit late, but he has that Marauder production. And Stim is about to be completed, and those are 2 very important tools if we are going up against a very heavy Blink Stalker build.
This is parting style. He's just going to poke, trick his opponent into making all these bunkers.
And get a third
And
base.
then get a third base. And then after he has a third base, he's going to make a bunch of gateways and then attack again. And this just keeps the Terran player on 2 base and keeps him like on the defensive, on the stress mode where he's going, oh my god, is he going to kill me right now?
There's always the danger of you overcommitting to your defense. And now that the Reaper is shut down, it means that Cure cannot really scout that there is a third base. So he's very limited in his scouting information unless he drops a scan. And at this point, he's really just afraid that the Reapers are gonna, that the Stalkers are gonna move in and take him down. So he's just getting units, more units. He has those bunkers, and he's playing super passive. Look how far he's falling behind here in the harvest account already.
49 to 35. He's not even making any more Stalkers, really. He sticks at 8. All these bunkers as well. 4 of them. That could be a command center. He's going to get the minerals back later, but he's losing those minerals for now while he wants them. I think he might have even made... I think he started a tech lab on this factory to make siege tanks, and then he canceled it as he started to realize this is not what's really happening. There's the reactor finished now, so he's going to be able to get those medevacs out.
Well, there's a quick poke, but at this point in time, Cure already realizing a little bit, well, this is not the time where you are actually going to commit to this attack.
Yep, those are those gateways he's adding after he has the third base up that I was talking about. Now that he has that extra income. And he's just going to add a few more tech paths here. He's going to go down these tech paths. He's going to have +1 armor for all of his units. His armor is going to, of course, apply to the charged zealots that are coming out, as well as, you know, the stalkers, too. What I was trying to say is he was trying to go into Archons. I was thinking of Archons and armor. They both start with AR, and my brain shut down. Picking off a unit here or there, blinking away.
Well, he takes down the pylon, and that puts an end to the fake aggression of Hurricane. And Hurricane has a charge upgrade nearly completed. So he's really having a very heavy gateway commitment here with 5 additional gateways being built. The Terran player is still trying to move across the map and maybe apply some pressure on his own. But so far, Hurricane is just turtling up a little bit. And with the extra income that he has, he should be able to get the units into the game that he really needs to first of all defend here and then control the pace of the game. Just because we do still not see a third base for Cure. He wants to do damage with this one, and he kind of has to.
So many units here to defend. Warps in 2 High Templar for feedbacks, for possible medevacs, for drops. He also has those stalkers, you know, chain blinking into the main base there, queued up. Starts the robotics transition as well. And he has this Archon here at the front. This is a marine heavy composition. Force fields are great. He wants to buy time. And with those Templar on the main base to shut down the drops, this is not going to be something that Cure can go for. But he's got a solid position on the right side of this base.
Yeah, he has a solid position, but that Photon Overcharge is doing damage, and he can never go on top of that cliff, because as soon as he tries to go in with a medivac, he will just lose the medivac and the units. He's trying to make this work somehow, but Cure is currently in a very tough position. He is caught between a rock and a hard place, and he needs to do some damage. He's still on 2 bases. He's up against 3 base economy of the Protoss player, and he knows that too, so he's on the clock here, and he's running out of time.
Yep. A few Widow Mines joining the fight as well. He just has this strong bio force, but here come those forces. He's still under the overcharge. The Stalkers coming to blink from behind. He starts to target down the medevacs. The Archon's doing so much damage here at the front as well.
The Archon's pushing everything back, and that blink was beautiful, taking down a few of the medevacs. We still have the Terran player trying to push in here, rallying units across the map, and the army supply, it is still in favor of Cure. He's looking at 78 versus 53. So far, Hurricane has not been able to really defeat his opponent. And Cure is moving in once again.
Cure is trying to find an angle. He doesn't have a third base and he's not pulling SCVs. Like, he needs to take some sort of edge here.
He's really playing patient on the other hand, trying to bait his opponent into those Widow Mines. Another blink forward, snipes one of the medevacs.
I'd love to get an Archon if he can. That's the big money Widow Mine shot.
Bio force. And at the same time, of course, the upgrades for Hurricane. He's just utilizing the money that he has, and now he's trying to get into the main base. But there's a scan. He wants to pick off that observer. He doesn't do it. He sees it, but he doesn't kill it.
Yeah, I think he was maybe also trying to identify if there was anything in the main base he could go into the medevacs with, or run into the base with a medevacs since there was nothing in the main, but he just couldn't do it. There was too much there on the edge anyway.
Yeah, he was trying to snipe the observer there with a scan, and he saw it, but then there were too many units already. He was already trying to pick off and maybe dropping on top of that cliff, but it was so dangerous. And it's always, of course, the risk of the Protoss player just blinking in with the Stalkers and sniping the medevacs while they are fully loaded.
It's always at least denying this assimilator, which is kind of funny because he kills it, then it's remade, he kills it, then it's remade.
Oh, and here we go. He's going in. One medevac sniped. He's getting a second one, but the units are in already.
Yep, this is a big problem for Hurricane because he's actually using the strength of that Nexus in that position. He'll lose his Templar Archives now as well. He is transitioning into Colossi, but this is never a comfortable place. Plus, he's going to maybe get this Nexus!
He's going to get that for sure. The Nexus goes down by third base, and in the main base, he's still trading quite well. Moves back eventually, but this was a big win.
This is what he needed. This is absolutely what he needed. And the observers actually scout that the last second there. That was really important. He cut that instead of losing the mothership core, but
that was such a huge win here.
That was exactly what he needed. He has his own third base going up now at the 3 o'clock position. It is scouted, but something can be done to it with this much Terran army, and the upgrades are continuing. Does he have the armory? No, he does not, as shown by our structure tab, but he probably is making it. Yep, there it is started. So he's actually going to have a bit of a problem with his upgrades, though. It's a little bit slow.
We have Colossi now with the range upgrade coming in, but the third base for Cure is going to give him another edge, and he already has such a tough bio army to beat. Hurricane, really, if he would have been able to hold on to the third base just a bit more time, and he would have been in a position where Cure could not contest this anymore. With the Colossi in there, it would have been so difficult for Cure to really move in and get in range of the Nexus.
These Archons actually blocking some of the Zealots. They're giving a good spot, and this Nexus, it may actually go down again. He's going to just try to lift up here, and whoa, got to stay away from those Widow Mines. Ouch. He's actually just going to go into the main base.
He's using his mobility here.
He really wants to get that Nexus. Tries to go for a Colossus as well here. He will get it, but it's not necessarily worth it. He lost a lot to do that.
Yeah, it takes down. He really keeps his Colossus count low, though. It's still only one Colossus, and as he's currently still trying to get medevacs into the game, I guess it's okay for him.
He may still lose that Colossus to those Widow Mines. He's going to, at the very least, lose something. Maybe two Widow Mines are going to kill a ton of probes here. Let's find out. Oh, that was terrible. That was like 1 kill each. It could have been so much better for him. 2 medevacs in the main.
Oh, and he snipes the Colossus. Nice. That is amazing for Cure.
Cure is just out multitasking Hurricane here. He's down in the game in general. What he's trying to find is his way in. This is a scary attack. There's so many Zealots. He has no answer for this. He has no answer for this whatsoever.
The Stalkers are even scared. They don't even engage. Now suddenly there's another force running into the natural. In the main base there's still an attack going on. Here comes Hurricane. He needs to break through here, and he wants to immediately the Terran player running to the safety of the Widow Mines, trying to control the choke points. The natural is already gone.
This is a scary moment for Cure. If he can hold on to this base, he might be able to take this game. He has to defend, though. He's lost his army over here. Third base is still up. I don't like Cure's position. He's trying to hold on here.
He still has that third.
Yeah, he keeps the third base. And that's going to really allow him to continue to production, but he's losing SCVs here now, and he's stuck in his main base.
Yeah, those Zealots at the third are so important now, just shutting down that income once again.
Goodbye Armory, which means no more upgrades.
Here comes a triple drop to the top left, though. And that's kind of the counter aggression he wants to go for. He's still trying to control the choke point. Here come those Widow Mines.
Oh, on the Archon
goes down.
Nicely done. He has to use SCVs to buffer a little bit here, though. A few more Widow Mines coming out, and I just don't think he has enough. He's also spotted here with the medevac. Stalker starting to take him out. He drops on top of charged Zealots, and that's going to be game.
He wants to fight this. He knows that if those Stalkers blink in and take down the medevacs, he's going to lose everything, and that's exactly what he looks like right now. A 58 army supply against 71, only 2 SCVs left.
Hurricane's bringing us to a game 3.
Yep.
The last of the medevacs in the main base fall. 1 Harvester left. GG.
Well played, Hurricane. Looked a little bit tough when he lost that third base, but he's able to make it work. And the Terran player for a second was actually getting out of control there with his drops.
Yeah.
Having drops at a natural in the main base, attack at the third. But the counter aggression here, and Hurricane just moving across the map to take the base. That was exactly what he needed there, sending a few Zealots also over to the mineral line of the third base for the Terran. And then suddenly Cure falling down to 2 mining SCVs. That was really well played by Hurricane here. It was heavy rain. It's just one of those maps that Protoss players really don't like to play in this matchup.
Yeah, it's just a really good harassment that we saw there. Plus the, I mean, he had so much production that when he went for the counterattack, he had so many Warpins to defend. plus the Colossus that he had back at home to defend. And then there was no way Cure was going to hold that army. His army was way too small. He was making it really precise. He was using it like a surgeon's knife to pick off tech structures, pick off pylons, try to kill Nexi. But if we're going to see mech again today even, I think it's going to be on this map right now. This is Cure's map pick. And it's a 2-player map that's okay for mech against the Zerg player, and for similar reasons okay against Protoss, I suppose, if you know exactly how to play it. We've seen Supernova use this map for mech against Protoss. And like we mentioned a few times before, Supernova is right now the only player we've seen in Korea do this that I can think of right now, except the one time Bomber tried it and failed against Rain in semis.
Yeah. Supernova and Cure so far the only ones. And well, game number 3 coming up next, guys. This is for both of them the last chance to avoid dropping down into Code B. They want to go up against Panic in the Constellation match. And we're jumping right into Yonso and find out who's going to advance here. Hurricane versus Cure, the GSL Code A Group F with Paul and Wolf.